Hey, Chanda Okafor, Kedu. Thanks for joining the class. I I so much enjoy your effort in identifying with Igbo as an Igbo speaker. Jisike. Thanks for joining. All right. So you find out that it is only one that is correct. And which is this? And we have treated this in the previous classes, like this particular format. Number one is that if you write the as separately, this, you have brought in this other guy. Oh my, we have claimed that guy. You have brought in this guy. Nnọchiaha A na A. That's what you're bringing in here. And in my class, I said, you cannot bring in this guy, and this guy together when you are constructing your sentence. I hope I'm writing what people are seeing. Okay, sorry. This is what I mean. If you write it this way, this is Nnọchiaha Amayonyobo. Yeah, I think I have put it well now. This is the pronoun that we do not know who he or she is. It cannot go. Okay? Right. So, because there's a pronoun already, and what is the pronoun? Which is me, I. I'm the person that will go to Aba tomorrow, not I. Not the guy that we do not know. It is I that will go to Aba, and I'm the one saying it. And I'm telling you guys now, right here in this class, I will be going to Aba tomorrow. Right? So there's no way it will be I speaking, and then I will also introduce the unknown person. The language does not support it. That's way I cannot write this as a separately and then together. I also cannot write it as a separately, separately. The natural law of pronouns is that it must be written apart from the verb, and we have used several different ways to explain why it is written apart from the verb. Number one, we establish subject and predicate. Number two, we establish the sentence, noun, phrase, verb, phrase, right? All of this we've explained. It has to be written apart. But what the problem you have here is now to understand who is speaking. Is it I, or you, or he or she, or the unknown guy? 4. In this sentence, it is I that I'm speaking, that I will go to Aba tomorrow. And I have to stay apart. I have to stay on my own. And this is me, right? This is me. I have to stand on my own. Whether I am brought into the sentence to break the verb phrase between the auxiliary and the main verb, or I stand from the beginning of the verb, I am still going to be written apart. Because I am the subject of the sentence. Because I'm the guy calling the shots in the sentence. I'm the guy pulling the string in the sentence. I do not want any trouble. I have to stand alone to declare myself what I want to do. And the verb is the guy that will explain to the object, the other guy, what I want to do or what I'm doing. So in this case, what am I doing? I'm telling you that I'll be going to Aba. I will be going to Aba tomorrow, right? Jessica, you're welcome. So, first of all, I have to stay apart. All right. Son of the Zion, you're welcome to our class. Oh, Igbo kaina sweba, oh. hapụkwa na iji bekee asụ Igbo is well is to create you know, an understanding, to make sure that everybody is inclusive of what we're doing. All right, so let me get back here again. I transformed this sentence from gaga aba. Chanda, I believe this class is going to be very useful to you because I know the level you are, you know, on, but it is also a very correlated level for a person who is really learning the structure of the sentence, because that's a very important aspect of learning the language, the structure of the sentence. So I began this sentence with then gaga aba and nọrọ onwe ya, okay? And then I came back to transform the structure of the sentence by breaking the verb phrase. I will go to Aba, okay? And I inserted in between the auxiliary and the main verb. So I now have agam. And so what I have said is that even when I came in to break the verb, I'm still going to stand apart. Now, what happens, and I'm going to clean off here to now explain to you these guys, the verbal phrase. Which is somewhat a continuation of what we've already done. So this is us here. This is me. Agamagaba, okay? I will go to Aba tomorrow. Now, this is the verb phrase, which is made up of the auxiliary and the main verb. In the main verb, okay, what do we have in the main verb? Oh, shit. Let me see. Okay. We have in the main verb, ga. Ga. As what? Auxiliary. We have a as part of the ga. As part of the ga, we have this as what? Prefix. And then we have ga. Ga as the verb root. Okay. Ga. Remember in the last class, I said that our verbs in Igbo, in their natural state, in their lexical state, they are not involved in sentence making. For you to use them in making a sentence, you have to transform them, which is you have to wear them clothes, let them make up, let them wear shoes, and those particles that are wearing, part of it is a prefix. Okay? And in this construction, this guy is a prefix. Agam, aga, aga. Now, what I did here is, it seems that I just inserted additional prefix to complete the functionality of the this guy, which is already the auxiliary, because the language does not allow me to say gam aga. It doesn't allow me to say that. So what it allows me is to put, let me say, reduplicate this guy that is here, the prefix, and make it double and bring one here in front of the auxiliary that is now behaving as if he's the guy calling the shots. Remember, this is the person calling the shots. The is the guy. Any question? Didi, you're welcome. All right. So, if you have a question, put it in the chat, please. Because I have succeeded in reconstructing the sentence, thank you, Chanda. Ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ enwezi mgbagwoju anya. People get confused. Gịnị bụ mgbagwoju anya ha? They now begin to think that this "are" here is this "are" here, which is a Nnọchiaha Igbo, which is the pronoun, the fourth person pronoun, the unknown person pronoun. That's not this guy, no. What this is part of the verb root. All right, let's go back to this place. So you see that I created my verb phrase, and the verb begins the verb phrase, and the noun phrase comes here, and that's where we have aba echi, and this guy now becomes our object, as Adeze told us initially, our object. The object, like I said, is the recipient of the subject's action. Okay? Ndị Igbo na-akpọ ya nnara, onye nnara. Okay? She or he is the one that receives what the subject does. So, in simple English explanation, the noun is found at the other side of the verb phrase, right? Which is under, the noun phrase as well. So if you come here now, you're going to see N, which is a noun. Okay? And some other things that go. Do we do the same with other auxiliary verbs? So in terms of the functionality of the pronoun, it is the pronoun that only behaves this way. It is only the pronoun that behaves this way. But check out this. I'm going to clean out because I've messed up my board already. If you're writing, I hope you've written a whole lot of things down. And Adeze, for your question, Igbo language has only 2 auxiliaries. So, please, I want you to note that. Unlike in English, where you might have, different auxiliaries, Igbo language has only 2 auxiliaries. And the 2 auxiliaries, whenever they show up in a sentence, the only thing that connects the auxiliary and the main verb is the hyphen. Thank you, Usekufus. The 2 auxiliaries are ga and na. They are the 2 auxiliary verbs to have in Igbo. So, when I didn't want to use nga ga aba, Mobaga maga aba, I can now use naga aba. I might choose to say something that is very, very appropriate. I will say ubua. That doesn't mean that I can't say anamaga aba uechi. I can still say that, okay? It's acceptable 100%. Now, if I also use anam, agaba echi, or ubua, it is still the same format. This guy came in here and broke the auxiliary, okay? And like I said, it is the first person subject pronoun that does this. But there are some people in some dialects, I can see the name very well. You're welcome, you're joining us now. Shaliv or so. You're welcome. There are some people in some dialects that we hear that can say mu gaga aba. Sorry. Gaga aba. Echi. Okay? Now, two things happen when I hear this kind of structure. It's either that you are a learner of Igbo language or you are speaking from a dialectal knowledge. Okay? There are some dialects that uses this guy. And I will explain the difference between the two and I begin to round off today's class. So, many people who are learning Igbo can use this construction so easily. Moga gaba. Okay? And I also said it's acceptable, but it's dialectal. It's not standard. Now, the problem with that guy is for you to know that it's not standard, when you use this guy and go free, like you use moga gabechi. Let's try it with agam. Now the problem is that this is not said. We do not, the language does not, when you say this, an Igbo speaker says, huh? So the question is, why would you add O to that is supposed to stay on its own? Why would you add the vowel? Okay? So the non-existence of this makes this non-standard. So if you cannot bring this guy here and it stands to be correct, this becomes questionable. Why should you say it? And at the end of the, for what is what, why should I go to add the vowel when the sound, the one letter sound word is capable of standing on its own? Because this is a letter, a sound, and a word. Okay? So why would I want to add something? So my wife will be laughing now that if I say this, there's a joke we crack, Omomo. And Omomo is coming from one of my elderly aunties in the village. I grew up in the village, okay? So, you know, all those older people, thank you for the gift. Thank you. So, Omo is a very, very, what used to be a very popular detergent we used when we were growing up. And this auntie doesn't know how to call Omo, but she calls it Omomo. I'm like, if Omo is difficult to call, why are you adding additional syllable to something that is proven difficult already? So this is a typical example of Omomo, right? Why would you not use the and then you want to add the O, which is not necessary, right? Okay, is it difficult to use the as opposed to the mo, right? That is the Omomo ideology. Oh my God. Okay, so Mgagaba is the more correct thing, and then you can now change it to say Agam Agaba. Agam Agaba. We don't say Agamo Agaba. We don't say it. And like I also mentioned, the second auxiliary is na. Okay? And Kiki, thanks for joining. Na is the second auxiliary, and it also applies. And so the next thing I'm going to show us, and then we begin to round up for today. Tanya KDT, you are welcome. Thanks for joining. The next thing I'm going to show us now is something we're going to go home with. Okay. Thanks for tapping on the screen for us, Tasha. Thank you, sister. All right. Is the second person pronoun. Okay. And by the time we come back here next week, this would have sunk very well because I was able to introduce this. So that's what I'm trying to do now, and I would appreciate getting more questions from you all, please, especially if you've been here for the past 30-40 minutes or so. Keep typing on the screen, and is appreciated. All right, let me clean up a little bit of this. And okay, someone may say I did not translate that right. So Anna means it can be translated as I am going to Aba now. That is what I wrote earlier in Igbo, but when I also say Anam Aga Aba Echi, which I so say is correct, that means it still means I will be going to Aba tomorrow. Okay? So in some senses, the two auxiliary verbs can take the position of the other. Okay? Please keep tapping on the screen for us. See if you can get us to 10,000 before the end of the show as we begin to round off. All right. And put your question on the chat, please. Put your question on the chat, please. Put your question on the chat. I will be going to Aba, and I am going to Aba. There are two different things, but also similar. All right, this is a translation. I'm cleaning it up. Okay. Any questions for me? All right. Keep tapping on the screen for us, please. I'm going to give example with the second guy. E. Please observe the dot I have. Okay. E. Gaga. Aba. Echi. Remember the second pronoun, the second person is E stroke A, and then G. Okay? And I know I did not give us an example where we see the mo, even though I say some people can use it as a subject. The reason is because the mo, the MU, belongs to the verb phrase. It is the object and not the subject. Okay? All right. We can still have the time to explain that much later. E Gaga Aba Echi, which is you will be going to Aba tomorrow. You, subject. Okay? Now, for this is the subject, this is the object. Now, the question is, yeah, you will be going to Aba tomorrow. Can you also say Gi will be going to Aba tomorrow? Okay, before I say that, this now will go ahead to explain there's a Dunya's question earlier. I cannot bring this A here to break the verbal phrase. I can't. I can't say aga e aga aba tomorrow. No, there's nothing. There's nothing in the language that supports that. Okay? And this guy, most of the times, does not give does not give people any problem. Okay, most of the times, Igbo people know how to write the second person pronoun. Most times, they know how to write it. I don't know, but maybe this class will help us to understand why. By the time we get to the third person pronoun, okay, which is also where we usually have some little issues. But here, no problem. We have seen the issue with the unknown person, and then with the issue with the it sounds funny, really. So many people don't have problem writing this pronoun apart, whether it is the E or the E. Okay, I can say E geri nri ubua. Oh, sorry. E. And I want to mention this before I leave you with thoughts. The use of the proverbs of the pronouns employ the use of the understanding of what the Igbo people call vowel harmony. Ndakorita udume. Vowel harmony in Igbo suggests that you will eat food now. Thank you, TikTok Kings. Cheryl, you're welcome. Vowel harmony suggests that a vowel that takes the first position in a sentence often chooses the vowel, the group from the group of the vowel that it corresponds with. Please tap on the screen and take us to 10,000 as we round off. The Igbo has its vowels in two groups. And I'm going to... Now I can clean up this. So two groups are found in the Igbo vowels, which we'll call Oda, Mfe, Oda, Aro, and in the Mfe we have A. Arrow we have A. I hope I'm not just opposing it, but if I'm just opposing it, please let me know. But I'm thinking that that's the correct classification. Mfe and Arrow. So we have A, we have A, we have E, we have U. Oh, we have O rather. We have U, we have O, and we have O, right? Yeah. So there are 8 vowels in Igbo. Okay, I hope I got it correctly, right? And when Uda Asato, Uduma Asato Igbo, 8 vowels. And out of those 8 vowels, they are classifiable into 2 classes or categories. And what that means is that if I'm starting a sentence with a vowel from this particular group, okay, the vowel will naturally choose in the verb side of the sentence, on the verb side of the sentence. Remember, whatever sentence I started with the noun phrase, right? The subject. The vowel that will come from the verb phrase will be chosen from the same group, naturally. Even though we have exceptions to the rule. But the primary thing that happens is that it is natural. Thank you, Tasha, for tapping on the screen for us. The natural thing that happens is the vowel must select a vowel that comes from the same classification. It is just like saying like minds. It's just like saying like begets like. It's just like saying birds of the same feather flock together. However you want to say it, like begets like, okay? The vowels go ahead to select a vowel from the same class with them. That is a natural occurrence. The exception is the unnatural occurrence, okay? And that is just what we're trying to say here. So for here now, E began the sentence. It is natural for us to have a. Because of what we want to say has a, E must start the sentence. Because we are looking at the second person pronoun. Okwayano, yanwakaina akawa. Nnọchiaha onye abụọ. So, now look at the difference here. E began this sentence, and that is why we have a ri. And I want to say it the other way around. Because the verb we want to explain begins with a, it will naturally chooses the subject that is E and not a. That is the difference between A and E, because that is something somebody might ask. Thank you, Tasha. All right, so I ga Aba echi. You will be going to Aba tomorrow, or you will go to Aba tomorrow. Or I ga-eri nri ugbua. You will eat now. You will eat now. You will eat now. I ga-eri nri ugbua. So I say that I cannot break this and insert the pronoun. Rather, it is only when I'm using the first person pronoun that is possible. So this is TikTok Kings. All right, what is it? Only when I just otinye ba. Nwada Sale ibera na zoge. Kedo. You will eat food now. Yes, wait, you will eat food now. Don't be in a hurry. Even if you've been hungry since, okay? You will eat food now. Thank you, TikTok Kings. Nwada Sale, no. All right, so let me have questions, please. If you have any. All right, if you don't have any, I will give a few things for you to translate in Igbo. Let me see those who can write Igbo. All right, from example, we are going into exercise. 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 What does that in there? Eri nri means eat food, right? Yes. Eri nri means eating food. Eating food. That's what it means. Thank you, Sally. All right. Translate the following. Translate this. 1. Two. Hey, nwada. Odekọchala ha niile ozugbo. Try. Chineke. Okay, begin to translate. I am eating now. I will give you food. I will not give you food. You will eat. You will not eat. Okay. Those are the exercises. I want to see everybody write it. Everybody that has been in the class. All right. Tasha, can you write it? TikTok Kings. Nna kekwanụ nke ị na-edekwe now na Igbo kwa. Nna m kekwanụ ị ga-eri nri now. Hey, agwa English ka esiri ya. Thank you all that have been tapping on the screen. Thanks for taking us to 10,000 likes, and it's appreciable. Thank you, Tasha. All right, is anybody else writing it? Okay. Mwada detechara ha niile. Ara Sally, thank you. So I am eating now, which is anam erinri ubua. Anam. And you remember how we wrote the separately, that's all. And we did not write the a separately. So the a and na, they go together. Anam, okay? The will stay on its own. All right? All right, so TikTok Kings, when you use the second person pronoun, you don't bring the first person again. Okay, because what you are doing now, you said inam a ring. No, it's either you use a and not a. Okay, let me just write it. Okay, Romanos Mwanzo, you're welcome. My problem here today is that my board is very, very very brief. Anam. Okay, Anam Eri. So we don't say Enam. And TikTok Kings, remember the E is the second person and not the first person. Okay? The second person is you. Yeah. All right. So Anam Eri. Then when I say I will give you is Agam. Agam, sorry. Agam. All right. Ring. So I'm going to ignore your lack of the absence of the auxiliary hyphen, but TikTok Kings, I'm talking to you now. So Anna a ring is the fourth person, the unknown person. Anna a ring. You know, we were dealing with that guy in the other classes, you know, when we started. So when you wrote it that way, when you write it that way that you wrote it, it means the person that we do not know. Ne even though it is supposed to carry the auxiliary, okay? Thank you, Wanda Saleh. Thank you, Seku Food, for tapping on the screen for us. So, Agam, Enyegingri, Agam. Good. Anam. And again, you're going to have to write it again for me to know you have learned it. You're going to have to write the A and the Na together. Okay? Anam. Write it together. The A and the Na together. Anytime you write it separately, anytime you write A separately, you are introducing the unknown pronoun. Beautiful. Thank you. Everybody clap for TikTok Kings, please. That's a very good improvement. Beautiful. Anam Erinri. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Right. That is the person, me. Thank you, Tasha, for clapping for TikTok Kings. All right. So here as well, you see Agam is the same. The A must be written together with the Ga. And then the must be separate. Okay? Right. Agam. Enyeginri. I will give you. Agam. Agam. And here as well, I will not. Agaim. I will write this one for us because I didn't talk about negation. I know why I put it. In subsequent classes, we're going to bring in negation, which is, if I say the negative aspect of the positive side of the sentence. Okay? Agaim. Then the fourth one say you will eat. Ga eri. Eri. Iri. Okay? Iri. And the last one, Igai. Alright, let me write them. What it means is I'm going to clean the English for me to be able to write the Igbo. I am eating. I will give you food. I will not give you food. You will eat. You will not eat. Okay. All right. Keep tapping on the screen for us. Appreciate everyone that came to class today. And I hope you enjoyed the class. And you will be here also on Friday. So the first one is Anam. Anam eri nri. The second one is agam enye gị nri. The third is agaghị m enye gị nri. The fourth is ị ga-eri nri. The fifth is ị gaghị eri nri. Ị gaghị eri nri. Aga m enye gị nri. Beautiful. Ị detere ya? Aga m enye gị nri, not eri. Okay, nri. N-R-I. Nri, not eri. Alright, if you are writing, want to stay out of your way. Ndewo no ụmụafọ Igbo. Ekelele m mmadụ niile. Ma ndị bịara ngwa ma ndị bịara n'azụ oge. All of you that joined today, appreciate you. Seku Foods, thank you. This is Success. Thank you, Scared Life. Thank you, Adeze Dunya, TikTok Kings, Tasha. You all are awesome. Chanda Okafor, thank you. Thank you so much. Who did I not mention amongst the very regular people? Wada Sally, thanks for coming in and scattering everywhere. David X, you're welcome. Thanks the people that are joining us for the first time. I may not remember all of your names, but it was obvious and significant that you stopped by to join us in learning. Iga Irinri, yeah, thank you. In learning today's class. So we are here every Monday to establish the knowledge of our language, the grammar of our language. And on Friday, remember, we are discussing the Ilu Igbo, the Igbo Proverbs. This Friday, I think I might be looking at either the Okabuilu in relation to Ilu, the difference or the relationships, and then I think that's the next we're gonna go. Then in that class as well, very soon we'll be introducing the other figurative speeches. A guy, a really beautiful. Thank you, brother. You are doing great. So we might be looking at the idioms in Igbo as well. But Ana Mario Onyobola, if you know proverbs, please send to us. If you know Igbo proverbs, especially those that we don't have on the Omenka app, send to us. If you have the Omenka app, go to the proverbs section, check what you have there, and if you know any, even if you do not know whether we have it or not, just send us a set of proverbs. If we have it, fine, we discard. If we don't have it, we add it to what we have. So we are documenting Igbo proverbs, okay? And on Saturday, we will be discussing the Igbo names. As we enter the month of November, I am proud to announce to us that I will be inviting an expert in Igbo, in Omenala Igbo, that will be discussing Oji. There's a whole lot, a lot of Igbo scholars have written about Oji as an aspect of Igbo culture. But this man is one of the men I know that know about the Oji in details, like in a very deep one. And I pray that he will have enough time. Agaim enyegi nrigi, not ga. TikTok Kings, G-E, not G-A. Gi nri. So in November, he will be with us to discuss Oji. I pray that he would agree to join us twice. Also, one of the Saturdays in November, I will be here with Danny from Nanogenesis to discuss aspects of health and well-being as an aspect of Igbo culture. So Mondays, usually it is supposed to be Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern time and 6 p.m. Nigerian time, but today we were late, but I'm glad that you all joined even though we were late. So please promote what we're doing. We have all our programs on YouTube as well. G as in G-I, not G-E, G-I. You are doing great. The effort is very encouraging. Please, let's clap for TikTok Kings. Give him a round of applause for the effort that he's making. It's a lot of efforts, please. Right. So promote our work in Omenka app. If you do not have it, the app is available for you. It's also as a web-based platform. And very soon, we're working on the app in a way that when it comes out by next year, it is going to be awesomely beautiful. Yes, Tuale for you, my brother. Yeah, thank you, Wanda Sale. Tuale. Yeah, so we have come to the end of today's discussion around the aspects of Igbo pronouns. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it will also make you to be here. I was glad to hear from TikTok Kings who was asking that, hey, when is today's class coming up? That's very encouraging. That is to say that some people are beginning to follow what we're doing here, knowing that some people are keeping track of when the next class will be, and so wanting to come. Finally, if you are from Otu Ndi Nkuzi Igbo, mee ka anyị mara. Nwada Sally is here to take note of your presence. Also, if you joined us today from UNN cohorts or AE FUNAI cohorts, please let us know. Let us know if you joined from these two cohorts. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. If you joined us from AE FUNAI, thank you for those of you that joined us for up to an hour plus in today's live. Appreciate you so much. Appreciate you, TikTok Kings. All right. If you joined from Ndi Nkuzi Igbo, mee ka anyị mara. Ọkwa na isoro anyị site na ndị otu AE FUNAI maọbụ UNN cohorts. Also let us know. Let's take note of your presence. Before I close, does anybody have any question for me? Any question for me? All right. If none, appreciate our work because there is a huge lack of knowledge among Igbo native speakers in the area of writing Igbo. It's important that we educate ourselves. Yeah, I appreciate our gifters today, Useku Foods. Thank you. Thank you so much, TikTok Kings. Thank you, Tasha. Appreciate those who have been tapping on the screen for us as well. And it's so awesome. Now, Ubua. And Ubua is written as two words. Ubua. Even though today people are also writing as one word, I'm going to talk about the rules of Ndekon and Desa a little bit as I know. Ubua. Ubua. Ubua means now. It's written as two words. Although people today are choosing to write it as one word, I have nothing to say about that. Ubua. In some dialect they say ubu. Ndingo wala say ubu. And some dialect they say buo. It's still the same, but the standard says ubua. Some dialect say odo. They say Udo. You know, so in the standard what we write is Ubua. Ubua. In fact, some dialect go to the extent of saying "boo away." That's another momo. There's a whole lot of dialects that also say a lot of things in Igbo. That's why people who, because they speak a certain dialect that seems distant and distinct from the standard Igbo, Ubulaka. Thank you, Sekufos. Some people say Ubulaka. No, full time over say Ubulaka. Right now. Yes, that's really what it means right now. Ubulaka. So some people get deceived by this. Just because their dialect sounds distinct or distant from the standard Igbo, they begin to claim that they are not Igbo because that they don't speak Igbo. So it's very, very funny when you hear such things. Some of them are saying is because of their political interests and all of that. And they say he sees it. And then the person that is talking has an Igbo name. It's either Chukwudi or Nwoke or Nwoke or, any of those dialects that sound a little bit distant. Though they claim that they are no longer Igbo. Well, it's up to you. If you are going to live your life with identity crisis, fine. That's your choice. You go and ask those that really do not know where they come from, how it feels. It feels great to identify with a cultural identity that you really belong to. When you begin to make it complex, maybe because of political interest, it's your choice. If that's what you want, it's your choice. All right, cool. So for this class, I said it's primarily for teachers, but it's also for everybody who want to learn how to write Igbo correctly. And for our Friday class, it is also primarily for young Igbo people who want to acquire the knowledge of the proverbs. It's also for everybody who want to learn Igbo from the proverbs. And I keep saying that if you learn Igbo, you say you know Igbo, but you don't know the proverbs. It's not true. You don't. Because Igbo people will say, Onye atụrụ ilu kọwara ya. Nwada, you know the other side of the story. Onye atụrụ ilu kọwara ya. The money where they pay for the mama head, they don't waste them. Because it's a way of indicting the mother for not giving the person a good home training. So it is, very, very troubling for a young Igbo person to grow up not knowing the proverbs. The proverbs are a very important aspect of the language. Yeah, that's just what the Igbo people believe. So is sometimes when you are here and you build an engaging community, it becomes difficult to say goodbye or to close at times. But today we're going to round off. I have to take some rest before I join another meeting. So I appreciate everyone, both those on YouTube. The YouTube guys, sorry I didn't really. Oh, there was a lot of people on YouTube today as well. Sorry, I was not looking at your screen because I used my back camera. Until we find solution to it. Wow, we had much more viewers on YouTube than we've ever had. And thank you all that came from TikTok. TikTok Kings, what I think you may be writing is Olisa, is that? Is it Olisa or if you want to write Olisa, if that's what you meant to write, is another name for God. Because what you wrote, okay, that's Olisa, fine. It's another name for God. Okay? And this is more spoken in Anioma side. and possibly Onisha. I think Onisha people use it as well. More of the Anambra, and then Delta. Olisa. Alright, yeah, is another name for God. Yeah, Delta. But if you go towards Imo, you might hear Orisa. Orisa, we also use that. Orisa Binigwe. So it's God in heaven. Okay, yeah, Olisa. Alright. That's about it for today. That's about it. I have ended the YouTube. So see you on Friday as we're going to take on the Igbo Proverbs. And see you on Saturday. Do good. You've not been stable today. What happened? Again, na afio. The village people are ekweghị ka ịnọta. All right. So on Saturday for a discussion on Igbo culture as well. Yeah, Orisa. I know their network can be the act of village people. so when it comes out, it's a village will don't come. All right. I find it interesting as well to speak Pidgin in my class. So it's either Igbo or Pidgin. All right. See you guys next time.